What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, man. This is All Truth, No Chaser, AT&C. I am Larry S. White II, and today I want to talk about dreams and the pursuit of dreams. Now, listen, some of y'all know, and some of y'all might not know, I'm not a real big, component on people pursuing their dreams. And I say that because a lot of people pursue what they see, not so much like what's internally, what's inside of them that they want to bring forth. A lot of times people just are pursuing dreams because they see something and they want a certain type of lifestyle because they want to obtain a lot of things. You just want things. And if that is your motivating driver to obtain things for a dream, it'll never happen. So as it pertains to dream chasing, let's just say by chance, you want to be an actor, you want to be a podcaster, you want to be a pilot, you want to be whatever it is that you want to be. It doesn't matter, but it's something that goes against the grain of the social norm. Social norm, I get up, I clock in at a job, I work a 9 to 5, I get paid hourly, or I have a salary, whatever that may be. If you decide to go against the grain and do something that is for you and you want to get paid for that, let's talk about what that looks like, potentially. And granted, this is all from my perspective and as it pertains to being an entertainment. I don't know, man, 15 years. When I got out of the Navy, that's when I started acting. So I got out of the Navy in March of 2010. And I have been on this journey, and these are just my thoughts. This is just what I think. So first thing you need to understand, the dangers of it. The dangers of it is poverty. Poverty, bro, you signing up. You're signing up to be impoverished. And that means hungry, right? You're signing up. You're signing up to be physically hungry. You're signing up for heartache. You're signing up for pain. You're signing up for disappointment. You're signing up for a ton of rejection. That's what you have in store for you. Because the system that is in place where you go to school, you get a job, or whatever it is, even for you people that love social media and you want to turn social media into a career, all of those things are on the same plateau. It's on the same, you're going to have the same issues as anybody else. So if you're uncomfortable with rejection, if you're not comfortable, if you can't handle people not supporting you and not caring, the only thing you're getting out of it, what you need to understand is you're going to be mad hungry. You're going to be hungry out here. You're going to be crying in pillows out here. You're going to be trying to figure out, why don't nobody like you? Did you make the right choice? Did you have to ask yourself what you're willing to sacrifice. Because you're going to sacrifice something. What are you willing to sacrifice to pursue the thing that you want? And if you're oh, I'm not willing to sacrifice nothing, then the dream that you say that you want, you're not going to get, because anytime you pursue anything requires sacrifice. Even if you want a successful job that is within the system, that requires sacrifice. And so when you decide that you want to pursue a dream that is you making a life for yourself outside of the system, that's going to require sacrifice. That's some people are willing to sacrifice their family. I know for myself, I said I'm willing to sacrifice anything. Anything is on the table, with the exception of my kids, my wife, and my soul. Those things are off the table. So as long as you're not asking me to compromise myself, to compromise my morals, to compromise my standard of living in regards to how I choose to live this life, as long as you're not asking me to compromise my kids, which in turn means compromising myself because I'm setting a bad example, which also ties to my wife, then I'm up for sacrificing what everything else is on the table. Larry, what does that look like? What does that look like when you say, you're willing to sacrifice everything with the exception of, your soul, your relationship with God, your wife, and your kids? What exactly does that look like? I have gotten auditions when my daughter had swim meets, and they were a big deal to her. So it's kind of okay, listen, I can say no to this if you want me there. I include people in the decision. I include them in the decision versus making it a selfish statement to be like, I don't really care what you got going on. I'm just going to go do me. I don't really care. Like that right there is the wrong type of sacrificing. But the truth of the matter is, when you're pursuing something, it requires time. It requires time. It requires time and energy. And sometimes you just don't have that time and that energy for anything else. And you don't always have that time and that energy for yourself. When you want to pursue something that is outside of the wheelhouse of the comfort of, I get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Or you get paid at the end of the month. Like, are you willing to give that up? Am I saying you got to give that up? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that the balance of having a successful career and success, right, is depending upon a person. So let's just say you have a 9 to 5. Let's just say you get paid on the 1st and the 15th. It doesn't really matter what that job is, but you have what kind of job is going to give you the fluidity that you need. All of that are things that you yourself individually are going to have to like sit down with yourself, sit down with your family and figure that out. I am not the spokesperson for whether or not you should, pursue your dreams or not. I'm not that guy. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. That's my position. And I have that position because people chase what they see, not what they want. And with the amount of rejection that I personally had to endure, that I continue to endure, but this is what I signed up for because I love what I do. What I do gives me breath. What I do gives me life. What I do excites me. You can call me. If my manager or my agent call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, I need you. Bro, I am up like it's 12 noon, ready to rock. I love it. I love everything that it entails, including the rejection, which for me translates as not yet. Does everybody else have that same willpower? Does everybody else have that same outlook? Did I always have that outlook? Did I always have that position? No. I didn't always feel like, oh, I didn't land this job. I didn't get this audition. I done spent all this money to go to Albuquerque or to go wherever to be at this audition, and I didn't book the job. And now the money that I spent to get here, I'm not going to get back. That can be overwhelming. That can be a lot. But you have to understand that when you're on a journey of pursuing and trying to manifest a dream that you have, a dream that you want, and it's not about obtaining a bunch of things so that you can stunt, those rejections are not rejections. Those rejections are not yet. Those rejections could be you're not ready. Those rejections could be you didn't work hard enough. I kid you not. This was a game changer for me. It was this series on I think it was like Nickelodeon or whatever. It was like some wizard something, right? And so I go to the audition, and this is kind of early on in my career. I go to this audition, and while I'm there, and I'm like, first of all, nobody's gonna hire a black wizard. Like, that's what I already told myself. That's not gonna happen. Now, here's the thing that's crazy. One, I got the audition. So that means they're considering hiring a black wizard. Am I telling myself, like this could happen? No, I'm not. I'm like, this is not going to happen. This is what I'm saying. This is not going to happen. Clearly, I did good enough at this audition that they asked me to come back, which is called a callback. And even at this callback, it was just between me and another person. It was only 2 people at this callback, to my knowledge, right? I'm saying it was only 2 people because at the time that I was there, it was only 2 people there. It was me and this other guy. And the other guy, I'm 6 feet tall. The other guy's like 6'5" or whatever. And he's a white guy. And I'm like, oh, he got it. He got it because they don't have black wizards. And never mind the fact, like, this job, right, you get to be like the face of the app. They're like doing out this whole campaign. And I literally talked myself out of that job. How did I do that? Because I did not show up prepared. I did not show up. Now, that rejection that I received was bro, you stupid. You didn't actually go after it. You played yourself because you could have had it. You could have achieved it if you would have approached it. Now, whenever I have an opportunity, I seize every moment. I refuse to ever allow myself to talk myself out of a job that I am actually in the room for. Now, granted, I'm saying that because that was a mind shift for me as it pertains to pursuing what I want. Unfortunately, a lot of people hear no the first time and then they're done. They don't want that dream no more. I wanted to be an actor, or I wanted to have a podcast, or I wanted to be a mechanic, but I went to the mechanic school, I got the degree or whatever, trade school, and the first job I went on, they said no. So now I'm just going to go work in the cafeteria. And there's nothing wrong with working in the cafeteria. I'm just using that as a joke, as an example. There's nothing wrong with working in cafeterias. But what I am saying, just because a lot of people, in my experience, they approach me about, oh, it must be nice. It must be nice that you get to do that. I wanted to do that when I was in high school, as if like what I do is like, I don't know. But anyway, if you're going to pursue your dream, you have to also understand that there's time limits to it. The time limit is what are you going to put into it. You want to cut hair, but you don't practice. You want to cut hair, you don't go to barber school. You want to cut hair, but anytime somebody tries to tell you how to do it better, you don't want to listen. You want to be a chef, but you don't want to go to culinary school. You don't want to follow the path to achieve what it is that you want because you feel as though you know better when you know nothing. How is it that when people do start a journey and somebody does come along and they try to bless them with some knowledge, they make it seem like the person that's trying to bless them with some knowledge don't know what they're talking about just because you don't know. Listen, I would petition you. I read this in a book. I would petition you to ask the people that are your internal circle, like the folks the opinions of people that you actually like, the opinions of people that you feel like if you was messing up, like they would keep it a buck with you. You should ask them to write you a letter, and yes, like with a pen and a paper, not an email. Man, I'm probably aging myself here, but I actually love pen and paper. And I asked my mom to do this for my birthday, and she did a great job. But get a pen, ask somebody to get a pen and some paper and write down, depending on how long they've known you, moments in their life, in your life. Ask them to write down a time in your life where they felt as if you were at your best. You can compile those letters, and as you read those letters, see if there's a common theme. If there's a common theme in that might be what you need to pursue, whatever that common theme is. Maybe, because a lot of times the things that we're great at already, we take them for granted, and we end up pursuing something that we're not actually great at. It's just something that we really want to do. You're great at doing hair, but you don't want to be you don't want to do hair, you want to do makeup. But actually what you're really great at is doing hair. But you're so focused on doing makeup that you're actually passing over the very thing that could actually change your life. So ask people to do that for you. I find it quite transformative. I know for my mom, it was really great because it gave me some insight into like how she sees me, like literally. And, and look, and it doesn't even matter if you have a good relationship or a bad relationship with your parents. Hopefully, right? Hopefully, if you ask them to do it and they take the time out to do it, that is showing that they care. Even if, like, you don't like them like that. Because for somebody to sit down with a pen and jot down moments where they felt you were at your best is huge. The time and the intimate level of thought required to do that is massive. So I would say that is one thing you can do, right? But pursuing your dreams, man, like a lot of times people have unrealistic expectations when it comes to pursuing dreams. Oh, I'm going to do this. Bro, I will never forget when I thought I was about to be on and popping because I went to some fraudster company They got these companies out there for actors, and they be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you come over here, and then you gonna pay me $9.99 a month, and that $9.99 a month, I'm gonna send you some auditions, and you don't need no agent. You can just do this. Or matter of fact, you can come to my school because I got a school, and you can pay tuition at my school. I'm gonna teach you how to walk on runways and all this stuff that they tell you, because the entertainment business, right? You don't know what it is unless you in it. So because you don't know what it is unless you in it, that's why it's easy to be deceived about how you go about getting in it. But I will never forget when this guy told me to my face, he was like, oh my God. He gave me a Jello. He gave me a Jello commercial side script, right? He gave me the script, this Jello commercial script. He was like, I want you to read this. Now, mind you, I have never done anything like this. I've never read never seen a script, didn't even know it was called a side. Like, I didn't know the lingo, knew nothing. This is my first time walking in. I found this place when I was living in California, and this is what they say that they do. And I'm like, yo, this is where I got to be. I sit down at the table, cuz is like, he's like, yo, the way you read that was magical. Man, I see like the next Denzel Washington in you. I see greatness in you. Like, yo, this is what I want you to do. I need you to come to our school. We need somebody like you. Cuz is hyping me up. He hyped me up so hard that when I got outside, I was like screaming and stuff like, yeah, I'm about to be on. Like, it was Sparta. Like, I tell you, I was so hyped, unaware that this is a scam. So hype. I was over here telling my moms, like, yo, in 6 months, I'm telling you, we're gonna be living in California. I'm gonna get you that bag you want. Like, it was great. Unrealistic expectations. And here I am 14, 15 years later, and I'm still climbing that ladder. A lot of people think just because they do something that is going to be successful tomorrow. They think because they start something today that people are supposed to just jump on board tomorrow. That's the problem. The problem is people get involved in something and they invest their time and they think that they're going to be an instant success. Is that possible? Anything's possible. Is it likely? Probably not. I just want to be very honest with you. But also, with that being said, it is important that you understand that it is never too late. It is never too late to ask yourself what it is that you want to do. You're never too old to ask yourself what it is that you want to do. You're not too far gone. A lot of people, they are afraid of a step change. You've been in the medical field, but that's not actually what you want to do. What you actually want to do is start a McDonald's franchise. But because you've been in medicine for 30 years, you feel like now being a business owner is too great of a step change. Like, it's never too late to make a step change. If you want to do something different, do something different. Just don't have unrealistic expectations. Don't feel like it's too late. You should just prepare. You should plan. You should get direction. Don't just jump out there and think that because you put your name down like it's going to be dope. Because that's just not how it works. That is just not a reality. And I personally feel like it's just really important because a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I'm not sitting and trying to make, like, a normal conversation that I have in my circle of humans who talk to me, they make this comment about, oh, how nice it must be. How nice it must be for you to do what you do, as if I don't be having like snot bubbles of tears coming out of my face and nose while I'm sitting in the fetal position, crying, asking myself, what am I doing with my life? Like, people don't talk about that. People don't talk about the struggle. And I feel like that is imperative, that people understand that it is a struggle when you are trying to change your direction. in whatever it is, and the struggles are always going to be different, especially when you are asking people to accept the work that you do. It's different because, I mean, if I make a shoe, if I decide to design a shoe and I think my shoe is great, who's going to buy my shoe? Nobody's going to buy my shoe. You have to do the necessary work for people to be like, okay, yo, cuz is valid. Okay, if this person likes his shoe, then it must be legit. I mean, that's just what it is. And like none of this is uncommon. I'm not saying anything that y'all don't already know. Everything that I'm saying right now, you know. Unfortunately, somebody's listening to this thinking that I'm full of it. And you think I'm full of it because you haven't gotten in it. A lot of times when you try to tell people there's danger and you try to help them avoid the danger, they don't want to listen because they're not in it. They don't know what it's like. They're just in la la land and they think that everything is going to be everything. And everything can be everything. I'm not trying to tell you that it can't be. What I am trying to let you know is what it's going to look like, potentially. Anyway, I want to say this. Man, it feels good to be talking to y'all because, we've been out of pocket for a minute. I am so happy to have y'all listening to me right now, to hear me rant and babble on. It's going to be a great season. And you know what? If you believe in what you believe in, and you believe in it deep down in your heart, that nothing is going to stray you away from what it is that you want to do, if you have that kind of dog in you, that there is nothing that is going to stray you away from what it is that you want to do, chances are you might not be too lost. Y'all be easy. Peace.